So learn about what is ESG and what are the efforts that Gamuda is doing for ESG. So yeah, this will be an introduction to sustainability or ESG. So now everyone, what is ESG? Can anyone just guess, or maybe you know already, because ESG is a global trend and you heard about it everywhere, in the news, in podcasts, and on newspaper. So what is ESG? Here, E stands for environment, S stands for social, G stands for governance. In a way, it means that everything under the roof, everything under a company, it is all under ESG. Okay, the presenter today is me. Well, when I show you this page, these are the ESG team. So we have a specific ESG team in Gamuda HQ headquarters in Damansara Perdana. So these are the personnel that I like to introduce to you. Yeah, you can remember their faces in the future. Maybe when you're in HQ, you'll be able to know. So Ong Jillian is the Chief Sustainability Officer. So 5 of them are in the team of ESG in Gamuda HQ. Agenda today, we are going to look into what is sustainability and what is ESG. Now, what is sustainability and ESG? Well, ESG in short is environment, social, and governance. However, if you look into it, it is all the things that is mentioned here: sustainability, renewable, business. Why are we getting so serious about ESG? Well, one of the ESG has been a global trend. This is the letter from the BlackRock to Gamuda in June 2020, which stated that if we did not comply to the ESG compliance, sooner or later we are going to be phased out in the world of competitiveness. That's why Gamuda is really taking very seriously in sustainability and ESG. Now, what is sustainability and ESG? Well, it all started in the Paris Agreement, which is a legally binding international treaty on climate change. So it was adopted by 106 countries at the COP21 in Paris and entered into force in November 2016. Goals is to look into limiting the global warming and enhance transparent framework, the ETF that they call. So under the ETF, starting in 2024, countries will report transparently on action taken and the progress in climate change mitigation, adaptation measures, and support provided or received. Now you can see not only in the investment world, which we can see from BlackRock, it is also happening as countries. Yeah, I mean in the stage of international, we are talking about ESG. So what is sustainability and ESG? It was adopted by all United Nations member states in 2015. There are 17 interlinked global goals. As you can see here, there are 17 on your right hand side. There are 17 of them. And Malaysia is one of the United Nations member states, of course, yeah. And this is an urgent call for action by all countries to develop or developing country in the global partnership. The targets are meant to be achieved between year 2020 and 2030. Here, E is not just about environmental, yeah, it can be economic as well. So you can see economic, these are the 4 items under ESG, the very big pillar under ESG: economic performance, local suppliers, market presence, indirect economic impact. Environment, you can see here: energy consumption, water emissions, waste management, environmental compliance, biodiversity, environmental compliance. And then for the social, you have occupational health and safety, security practices, employee learning development, customer privacy, talent management, and local communities. Governance, whistleblowing mechanism, no-gift policy, anti-money laundering, risk management, compliance, anti-corruption, and data protection. So if you see here, sustainability and ESG covered everything under a company. Here, again, these are some of the information points for you to know about sustainability and ESG. Here it talk about gross value of construction, talk about construction industry contribution to the economic growth. It also talk about greenhouse gas emission due to construction sector. Here, building and construction has together account for 36% of global final energy use and 39% of energy-related carbon dioxide emission. These are the points that telling us construction, which is our industry here, which is what we are doing, what are the contribution negatively to the environment. So because of that, we need to have mitigation measure. Now, what is Gamuda direction as a group? Here you can see we have 3 pillars, which is our people, our community, and then design, planning, and construction. Pillar 3 is environmental and biodiversity stewardship. Then our focus especially is on the governance, economic, environment, social. It means that we try to we will have a governance system to take care of these 3 big pillars as well: economic, environment, and social, through our pillars. Of course, if we have all these ESG effort, we will need to be transparent. We will need to be able to report it. And how do we do it? We have to use the global alignment, which is Global Report Initiative. So Gamuda will be using this GRI, Global Reporting Initiative, in order to report our ESG efforts. So what are our approach? There will be a lot of approach. Here is using our values. I think everyone knows, right? Take personal ownership, walk the talk, adopt open and honest communication, demonstrate real teamwork, and develop our people. This slide shows to us the GRI that we are using. We measure and report using Global Reporting Framework. This is a snapshot of how it looks like. You can see GRI 201 is Economic Performance 2016. So that under the GRI, there are many sub-items as well for us to report. And the table on your most right is telling us what are the importance in ESG for us, the influence on stakeholder assessment and decision. So you can see here, the higher part will be a lot on governance and economic impact. At the moment, you must be wondering, Gamuda, you're talking about doing the ESG effort. What are we doing as a group now? Here you can see we try to mitigate and lessen the greenhouse gases emission. Then at the tunnel boring machine, we use recycled water. In that case, we use less water. Solar program invested 1.08 million to install solar photovoltaic panel on the rooftop of Gamuda Garden Sales Gallery. So these are the efforts that we do. Local procurement, it is under the governance and economics. Local sourcing, safety and health. We are serious about safety and health. And Orang Asli and Arboretum. which we work together with the Orang Asli for our Gamuda Gardens, for our Gamuda Land project. Now this is important. You have to always remember what are our commitment and pillars to be low carbon by 2030 and carbon neutral 2040, measuring towards positive impact.